Look at that. It is so simple. Loads and loads of colour, beautifully creamy white feta. That is delicious. I love this time of year. It's getting lighter, warmer, we're getting plenty of vegetables into season, lots of colour and variety we can get on our plates, and leafy greens are a great example, with spinach being an absolute powerhouse. It's so flexible and you can use it in a variety of different dishes.
Today I'm cooking Spanakopita. It's got crunch from the phyllo pastry, saltiness from the feta, and some sweetness from the sun-dried tomatoes. It's one of my go-to dishes and a real family favourite.
Right, so let's get cracking. I've got the oven on at 180 degrees preheated, but I've also got a pan of boiling water on a rolling simmer. Spinach is a brilliant veg. It's got heaps of micronutrients that are really important for our health and well-being. One of the big key nutrients is iron, but now with potentially reduced meat consumption, getting more plant-based sources of iron into our diets is really crucial to meet our needs, and spinach is a great way of doing this. So we just want to blanch it for a couple of minutes tops. We don't want to really boil it because we're going to lose some of that nutritional value in the process. As soon as you can see it starting to wilt, turn the heat off and drain this off, and then give it a good rinse under the cold water, just to stop it cooking any further. We don't want the spanakopita to get soggy and the pastry to not be as crisp, as crunchy as we want. So we want to give it a really good squeeze and get all that excess water drained off into the bottom of the pan. We just want to chop it up into small pieces so we can combine it well with the rest of the ingredients. So it hasn't got to be perfect. So we're also going to finely chop the sun-dried tomatoes. So the classic spanakopita has got that combination of spinach, feta cheese and eggs. So it's creamy and it's rich, but what we can do is add in the sun-dried tomatoes, we're going to add a little bit of acidity to it and a bit of sweetness. So it gives that a little bit of a twist and makes it really vibrant. So feta's really salty, it gives a lovely natural seasoning to the dish, and you can crumble it up just into the bowl. It gives the dish a lovely creamy flavour, so it really glues everything together. This does make a really good high protein dish as well if you're a vegetarian. Between the feta cheese and the eggs, it's really protein packed as an evening dish, or you can use it as lunch on the go. But I love this dish because it is so simple. This is something you can have prepped in 10-15 minutes and back on the table within half an hour. So it's really, really quick and easy to do. So now we've made our filling, we're going to grab our pan and construct it with our phyllo base. Nice and simple, we're going to use some pre-made phyllo pastry. I really like using olive oil spray to make this. It'll crisp up the pastry but without using an excess of oil. So we're just going to take each sheet and fold it in half to form a double layer, and then we're just going to place it in the bottom of the pan. Make sure we've got some overlapping over the edges because we're going to fold that on top to create a nice lid. I love the way it looks, like the deep greens, whites and the red from the sun-dried tomatoes. It's really vibrant. So we're just going to take our last sheet of phyllo pastry, scrunch it together and pop it in the middle and just form a nice rough topping. It's not an exact science at all. It will look good once it's got some nice colour on it and it's been cooked and it's crisped up. And we're just going to finish off with a little touch with some nigella seeds just to give it a little bit of crunch on the top as well. We're going to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes at 180 degrees and it should be nice, brown and crispy and ready to eat. So I chose this dish because I love to cook it. It's a real memory of my childhood. My mum was a chef, she was classically trained, and then she had a catering business that she ran whilst bringing 3 boys up. And she'd make little spanakopita triangles, and I'd watch her filling hundreds of these things before big events. And the flavours just bring back such happy memories of eating with the family at home. When I really knew I'd made it in my mum's eyes was when she could trust me to roll the phyllo pastry triangles. She really lit the fire for why I love food and nutrition. It's starting to smell amazing in this kitchen, so I'm going to go and check and see how it's doing. Look at that, loads of good texture on there. All the pastry that we scrunched up has got nice and crunchy and lots of colour on it. We've let it settle down and cool a little bit before slicing just so it doesn't fall apart. Oh, listen to that crunch. And there we have it, there's my version of spanakopita. That salty, rich feta cheese with that iron-rich spinach, sun-dried tomatoes and that beautiful crunchy pastry. I want to devour it right now, but you can always pop it in the fridge for a couple of days, take it for lunch or take it out on that picnic. That is delicious.